morning, Chicago. My name is Paula Zanotti, and I'm here to bring you the latest in our city's news here on Channel 4 News. We begin with the story that is on everyone's minds today, as it has been in the past few days, the sudden deaths that are plaguing our city and creating a widespread panic. It all began with the death of 12-year-old Mary Kellerman, who died suddenly in her home. Next, Adam Janis, a 27-year-old, died. His death was quickly followed by the death of his brother Stanley and the death of Stanley's wife Teresa. Though police were initially encouraged by the fact that these deaths seemed to have at least some sort of connection, the list of victims continued to grow, including a 31-year-old new mother, Mary McFarland, a 35-year-old flight attendant, Paula Prince, and 27-year-old Mary Reiner. The police are now scrambling to find a connection between these deaths, which seem to be completely unrelated. As of right now, there is only a loose geographical connection between the victims and no connection of age nor of medical history. For more on this terrifying story, we go to Madison Wempe, who is outside the home of the first victim.
Thank you, Paula, and good morning to our viewers. We are here at the house of Mary Kellerman, where only a few days ago her death began what has now turned into a citywide panic, with people everywhere fearing for their lives. On the morning of her death, Mary's parents reported that she woke up feeling ill. She did not go to school and instead stayed at home. Shortly after waking up, she went to the bathroom, where her parents found her unconscious. Though paramedics did everything they could, they were unable to resuscitate her. Only a few hours after, Adam Janis, a 27-year-old postal worker, was also feeling sick and had taken the day off from work. He decided to take some medicine and lie down for a while, but after only a few minutes, he staggered out of his room and collapsed. Once again, paramedics were not able to resuscitate. These two victims, along with the ones that came after, all presented with the same symptoms of confusion, disorientation, dizziness, and shortness of breath, before collapsing and passing away. The next two victims, hold on. It seems that the police have released a statement regarding the cause of the deaths. We're going to go back to Paula in the newsroom for more information.
Thank you, Madison. A recent statement made by police indicates that there may be more than meets the eye with these deaths. The statement seemed to indicate the possibility of these deaths being murders, with all signs pointing to asphyxiation as the cause of death. For more on this recent development, we go to Alicia Anaya, the coroner assigned to examining the bodies of these poor victims. Alicia?
Well, we're still in the preliminary phases of the autopsies. We've never seen something quite like this, and we still have a lot of bodies to get through.
Can you give us any insight into what has happened here? Could this be the start of an epidemic?
It doesn't look like that right now. There are no common factors between any of the bodies that we've examined so far. We've sent out blood toxicity reports, and we should be hearing back soon. I will say there's one strange thing that we've noticed in common with all of the victims, and that's that there was massive cell death in the lungs and heart, which, in my experience, aligns perfectly with the side effects of victims of asphyxiation. So.
Are you saying all of these people were victims of murder?
Well, I don't mean to jump to conclusions here. There was no bruising, as you can see, around the neck or chest area of these victims, so I don't want to jump to conclusions. Again, like I said, I'll just leave that up to the police.
Is there anything else that you can tell us that stood out to you?
Well, even with the massive cell death in the lungs and heart, there was a surplus of oxygen in the blood. So I think that once we get the blood toxicity reports back, we'll have all the answers to these questions. So it looks like the victims were poisoned by cyanide. The cyanide ions halt cellular respiration by inhibiting an enzyme in the mitochondria called cytochrome C oxidase, which explains the massive cell death in the lungs and heart and the excess oxygen in the blood.
Well, Alicia, I'd say we have a murder case on our hands. I'll let you get back to work with the forensic analysts. Let's catch this killer before he can do any more damage to our beloved city.
I second that, Paula.
Well, folks, that concludes our broadcast for the day, and hopefully these wretched cyanide poisonings as well. For all of the up-to-date information on these Chicago murders and all other local major news stories, remember, Channel 4 News. Thank you.